Centrica chief executive Ian Khan is facing mounting pressure to deliver progress on his strategy after the collapse in the British gas owner's share price last week. City sources said Khan must soon provide detailed evidence that the company has a credible plan to stem an exodus of customers. Investors also want assurance that he can reap more profits from the connected home business, which includes switching heating or other appliances on and off remotely or through voice-activated systems. The shares dropped 15% on Thursday, taking the fall since January to 41%. The company is now worth less than at the time of its privatization in the 1980s. One City stockbroker said, "We need to see some confirmation of progress by February with far more detail than it has provided so far." That's going to be critical. Shareholders and the investment community will be scrutinizing the strategy more carefully after this week and will expect to see more clarity on numbers. Given the share price performance and a massive downgrade of earnings, there is now pressure. More than 820,000 customers, or 6%, defected from Centrica in just 4 months. The company said customers signing up to collective bargaining energy supply deals, where large numbers band together and haggle prices down to rock bottom, were partly responsible for the exodus. Centrica, which owns British Gas, the biggest of the 6 major energy companies, now has 13.1 million customers in the UK. In a damning report following the profit warning, Deutsche Bank analyst Martin Brose said last week's revelation raises existential questions. The report said that investors, around 600,000 of whom are small shareholders, should brace themselves for a dividend payout in 2019. Last month, the Prime Minister pledged to introduce legislation that would end ripped-off energy prices once and for all during a speech at the Conservative Party conference. It follows moves to cap bills for vulnerable customers. Deutsche Bank pointed out that Centrica's current woes come even before the UK residential price cap has been imposed. It said it was concerned because technology is making it easier and cheaper for new companies to enter the energy market and challenge British Gas and the other large companies. It added that the new entrants are disruptive and unstoppable and that Centrica's attempts to win over customers with its high-tech connected home gadgets will not do well enough to compensate. Centrica is using its Hive Home technology to promote high-tech control systems that allow customers to turn on their heating before they get home and alert them if their boiler breaks down or if a window is left open. It can also use Amazon Echo voice activation to switch heating on and off. Khan, who was at BP for 29 years before he joined Centrica in 2015, was paid £4.2 million last year, a big increase on his £3 million in the previous year. He has tried to defend the industry's use of standard variable tariffs, traditional deals where customers' bills go up and down, ostensibly in line with the price of energy on wholesale markets. However, these are among the most expensive for customers and rate rises tend to happen faster than falls. Yet two-thirds of households are still on these arrangements, often because they are automatically put on them when their initial deal expires. Such tariffs, offered by all of the big six energy firms, including Centrica, EDF, and Power, E. On Scottish Power and SSE, often charge in excess of £200 more a year than the cheapest deals available. Cons said earlier this year that many customers chose to be on them, and they offer decent value. But he will need to work hard to counter the consumer squeeze expected over the next 12 months. Increasingly cash-strapped customers are expected to hunt around for lower price deals as they battle to counter low wage rises and higher inflation. Analysts told the Mail on Sunday they did not expect the price cap to come into effect until April 2019 once Ofgem had completed its investigation and informed energy firms. Centrica's shareholder register still includes hundreds of thousands of small, retail investors, members of the public, many of whom bought shares in the 1980s. The company was sold from public ownership under Margaret Thatcher's sweeping privatization plans and began trading as British Gas plc in 1986. The sale was made famous by the Tell Sid marketing campaign. The value of the company at the time was £9 billion, but it has since been separated from gas producer BG Group. The shares closed last night at 139p, is valuing the company at £7.8 billion. Will the budget help you? Or anyone? Listen to the This Is Money podcast. It was billed as a make-or-break budget, so did the Chancellor pitch its right. In this week's podcast, Simon Lambert, Rachel Rickard-Strauss and Georgie Frost pick apart the budget to try to find out who the winners and losers will be. From an up to £5,000 tax saving on a first home, to rail cards for the under-30s, zero mentions of the word saver, and whether Just Eat can really solve the productivity puzzle, they round up what you need to know. Plus, what exactly was Simon's stamp duty idea that drew 296 reader comments, of which about 295 were calling him an idiot? Listen to the podcast to find out. Press play to listen to the show below, or listen, and please subscribe if you liked the podcast at iTunes, Acast, and Audio Boom, or visit our This Is Money podcast page.